Hi guys, Peter here again from the Rugok. Just a little update. We are currently, I am currently in the rear itself. So all the floor has been pecked out. It's been sat like that now since December. I think the archaeology guy has sent off his form for the planners just to tick off. It's been ticked off by the head archaeology lady, Miss Hemmett. And so we're on stop. This has been like this since mid-December, I think, if not, where is it, November? I did that video where someone grassed us up for doing something stupid. Fools that they are. So anyway, the floor is sat like this now. We could have had this all concreted in by now, but we're just waiting on, again, more paper pushers. And from the video the other day, I had a phone call from a lovely little barrister who wants to take on the case. What an effort level. All I want to do is get cracking. All these people are just absolute morons. So, it's my personal opinion, by the way. So here we are. So we have land registry forms filed by Winrow solicitors outside of the family court, and that has affected the business wise. I don't want to go into my personal details, but that's affected the business. So Winrow solicitors filed paperwork for family court, signed off declarations, signed off by the person who wanted it done as well. I can't mention them. And the evidence that Winrow solicitors from North Wales, Ian Winrow, Cheryl Addy, I don't even know how to say her name, not really fast. She or they or their practice filed off the form to prove that I'd been married for 8 years. They sign on to the online land registry. Now think about the average government portal. How many passwords, declarations, effort levels, key codes, everything else you have to get onto just to get into any type of backward government portal. And we're talking about land registry as well, so it's kind of an important one. Now they decided that, in malice, my opinion, they would state that I'd been married for 8 years, like I said, and the evidence they supplied was one letter with my name on it, child maintenance letter. So try to defend that you weren't married. Now just think through the thought process of this. So how do you say to the courts that you've not been married when you don't have a divorce certificate because you were never married in the first place? How do you explain to a judge that solicitors working with apparently legal aid funding, with a letter from legal aid themselves, representatives at manchester.justice. whatever the email is, state that the form that they filled in wasn't actually justified under the child maintenance or child family court legal aid. So we're in court and I'm trying to discuss, not even in court, I tried to put the letter through and it actually just comes back with contact the police. I don't even know how to go with this. So anyway, the judge let solicitors use legal aid funding, which I would thought is taxpayers' money and therefore fraud and under the public interest, to file stuff outside the remit of family court, which then unjustly holds me back from actually financing up my properties to actually continue with my work. So that's that. Anyway, that will get taken on. That North Wales police, I think her name was Rachel something. She's got all sorts of job titles, bless her. She's probably been promoted to hit some sort of Equality Act of making sure that enough women and people and coloured people and stuff are in the right positions rather than actually doing her job properly. But she's put that down. And I don't know if anyone else has done a clerical error of such significance, costing me probably 100 grand, maybe a bit more last year. She's put that down to a clerical error. So that's a all right, guys, nothing to see here. We're from North Wales, please. Clerical error. Land Registry wrote me a letter saying this breaches the Land Registry Act. Declarations have been signed by the solicitor and by the party who also signed them. They were perfectly obvious, and it did state in multiple areas, by signing this, you do hold yourself responsible and you will be liable. Land Registry Act, I think think it's 2002. I don't know what it is. But basically, what they did was not very good. Sergeant Jones, I made a long list of the phone call yesterday. Sergeant Jones refused to investigate a laptop theft. He told PC Jones not to investigate it. She wrote that on an email. So I have that. That laptop was then used to access court documents. PC Jones waits nearly 15 months. Every month, bless her, she did her job, 28 days. She wrote a thing saying, sorry, I can't investigate the crime. I can only do what I can do according to PACE. I have to inform you as to where the investigation is. And because she was told by her superior, Sergeant Jones, Blenheim Festiniog, hello buddy, apparently she can't investigate it. I messaged Liz Saville-Roberts, MP thereof. Miss Liz Saville-Roberts had an email from the regional inspector. This is back in September, October 25. He said, there is currently an ongoing investigation for the thefts that Mr. Dive has done. I won't bother quoting the whole email, but basically, North Wales Police Regional Inspector, I believe it was, wrote to a Member of Parliament and declared that there was an ongoing investigation. 3 days after that, I had an email from PC Jones still stating that the investigation can't actually continue and go forward. So why would they be telling the member of MP that there is an investigation? Well, there's not. It's on hold. Technically, there might be a crime reference. Is it really going through? Be a little bit honest with this sort of stuff. So why would the police be trying to mislead Parliament and by saying what's going on? Now, anyway, a whole load of other bits and pieces going through the process thereof. I'm going to skip out all the stuff that will probably hold me in contempt of court and just skirt along the grey area. On Friday, I have a phone call from a PC officer from Blenheim Festiniog. I won't name her at the minute because she seems to actually be doing her job. I'm kind of hiding behind it, but yeah. She calls me up as I'm driving along and I put my phone on and I state that it's a work phone. And when she states who she is, I say, by the way, all calls are recorded. I hope you're aware. And I press the button again on my phone to make sure it says on the work phone, because they're calling work phones all the time. They don't actually have my private number. And so it says on there, this call is being recorded. She says, okay. However, in the interview on Monday, she states that she recorded my phone. There's no verbal announcement. The law on the College and Policing Act states that if there's no reason not to, you should basically be telling the person that you're recording it. Now, as far as I was aware, she was sat in the police office in Blenheim Festiniog. So why wouldn't she have declared that she was recording it? I would have said that I was happy, probably, maybe, who knows. But it shows zero professional standards or integrity. She calls me up on a Friday night and asks me to come for a voluntary interview at Blenheim Festiniog. She does offer other police stations, Portmaddock or Dolgethay, but I wanted to go to Blenheim myself to go and see the PC or Sergeant Jones to see if he's hanging around and see what else he can get, what trouble he can get himself into. So, PACE G for the police has a local policing principles, which means that if she wanted to interview me and I live in Suffolk, she should have either driven to Suffolk or phoned up Suffolk Police to actually be doing it. As I said the other day, disclosure. I'm sat there wondering why I've been asked to drive for 5 hours to the local police station. Sergeant Jones, under PACE C 11.1a, breach. Effective exercise of right to defend. So I should have been given all of these dodgy emails from the corrupt council officer, in my opinion, to actually be able to figure out why I was even asked to come into the police station. Now, multiple emails, all issued into one evidence pack. Law, Article 6 ECHR, the right to a fair trial. The evidence pack law, Criminal Procedures Investigation, CPIA 1996. That is malicious and evidence tampering. You can't find 4 or 5 emails, pick up 3, 4, 5 words of each email, bolt them together, and then cause it. And put them together to try and make some sort of malicious communications. Now, the police statement at the top of the witness statement list that she wrote out specifically says, I wish to record fraud. So the council officer is trying to report me for fraud. What's the police then realise that they obviously don't have don't have a leg to stand on. So instead of going for fraud, they tamper a whole load of evidence together to try and make it look like I've actually done something wrong, which is an interesting scenario in all honesty. So the witness statement says fraud, and then they drop it down to malicious communications. Again, breach of pace, 11.1, abuse of process. This just goes on and on and on. CPIA, they legally are required to investigate all lines of inquiry. So Sergeant Jones, PC Jones, refusing to actually go and recover a stolen laptop from someone that used to live into my property and then removed it and acknowledged that they actually have access to it but still won't return it, I reported as stolen and I wanted it returned. It has stuff on there for work, it's a work asset, it's not mine as a person, it's a legally represented business. So Rugokin Limited is not Peter Dive. Sergeant Jones doesn't seem to acknowledge what the law is, and he's gone rogue. As I said, I put in a complaint against him. He came back and investigated his own complaint and said, I haven't gone, I'm fine. Nothing to see here. So he's blocking investigations, which is again, Victims Code 2020, malice and conflict of interest. And it even comes under, apparently, the Frankenstein strategy, which is a civil debt error, because the council takes me to court and I haven't even done anything wrong, with false fraud claims, stitched emails which makes malicious communications, into secret recording to try and make me step up and fail, into attending a police investigation when I haven't even got the full evidence. So, I think it's a barrister. We're looking now, how about this for a bit of a giggle? Misfeasance on Sergeant Jones for blocking disclosure, refusing to investigate crimes and blocking officers. The breach of human rights, Articles 6 and 8. Secret recording. PC Williams, who's another issue that we've got going on. Trespass to goods. Illegal seizures. Section 9 warrant failures. Pace Code B. The officer from yesterday, I'm hoping, legally, she has to override now all these... I'll let you put the word in that I can probably think of. Unscrupulous adults? That'll be the nicest way I can put this. For now investigating the new crime, I made it quite clear to her that if she doesn't investigate all angles of inquiry, and actually all the allegations that have led up to this have never ever been looked at, because I keep getting stopped. Gleneife Steniog is a bottleneck of crimes. So when you look at all the crime statistics, and then you look at actually what's popping out the other end, if I'm only one person to go by, I've got thefts from a business, thefts from me, I've got money issues, I've got land registry issues. None of them have been referenced, none of them have been investigated. So when we look at the statistics of who are criminals, who's getting prosecuted and what crimes are happening, well, North Wales Police can stand up and say, we have failed in our job. Gwynedd Council, because they tried to take me to court, and on the same day evidencing themselves that I shouldn't have even been there, malicious prosecution and misfeasance. The debt in court was evidenced to be correct. Data protection breaches for talking about people's personal data in a hallway, and professional negligence on a Edward, I can't remember his name, Jones. And we'll look at Edward Jones for potentially, it's going to be a little bit harder, but it's probably worth the money just to chuck him into court anyway, because everything stacks up to the point of defamation and malice, harassing through the police and using them as a weapon to silence me. His whole claim against me, for his negligence, his whole claim against me for malicious communications or fraud was that I said, I've got evidence that you're helping other people and putting your details out to help females once you meet them and do everything else, potentially grooming them into whatever you want to be doing in Gwynedd Council, using your position in Gwynedd Council as a taxation manager to give people tax discounts. And when I then put that claim forward, it's completely ignored. When I then say that I'm going to publish it and go online, you then contact the police. I mean, if you just wrote a police witness statement, that's one thing. The fact is, you have used that to try and silence me. And here we are, talking about it even more. And I so will be ongoing now, and I'll be naming you all because this is now a public interest. 4, 5, 6 officers at Blenheim Festiniog police station themselves, a regional inspector lying. I've got another inspector on an arrest when I went to Carnarvon. I've got other police officers, one from Dolgethley, for example, on Ring Doorbell, stating a whole load of stuff. This is out of control, guys. Welcome to North Wales. I'm going to keep doing this build because I'm frankly not fussed with any of you. Hopefully the council now in Snowdonia National Park or Erie National Park are going to actually write me my archaeology report so we can actually get cracking with this building. Otherwise, the main route itself is just going to sit derelict. Now, isn't it funny that a guy comes in here? I don't care if I'm Welsh or not. I love it or hate it. Like, if people don't say you're not getting support because you're not Welsh, then it says more about this place than anything else. I'm trying to rebuild a historic building. It's not my history. I'm trying to rebuild it and offer locals jobs. And if people are saying, well, you deserve it because you're English, well, you're not doing the right thing because you're English, you're the racists. You're the problem in this world. And if I'm getting arrested because somehow these nationalists are encroaching in what would be the public sector, and the national park or the local council are not actually doing their job because they're saying you're English and you deserve this and you shouldn't be doing it, and why are you buying up Wales history and heritage? It was up for sale and I didn't see anyone else buying it. So you can either support or you can become part of the court forms, because I'm just frankly fed up with it. So, North Wales Police, I'm going to start sending out letters for the 7-day warnings before police action. And I honestly hope that some of you are going to get suspended. I truly do. And I honestly hope at least one of you is going to get sacked, Jones, Sergeant. You don't deserve a job, buddy. Now, blocking crime, stopping investigations for 18, 19 months at a time. Sergeant Jones, are you not there to actually convict criminals? Or are you there to mislead the CPS? Literally, evidenced. How can you come and arrest somebody on allegations that are almost pushed forth, and at the time that they were happening, I can't talk about because of obviously contempt of court issues for other family courts, they have been pushed forward and urged to be submitted, and then any defence or line of inquiry that make your person, your team, your quick conviction look like it could be wrong and actually double back on the point where you've made a mistake. Full blown lockdown. And that is where the court should come in for people, i.e. myself, who is actually a victim. Now, I haven't lied to the court. I haven't declared myself homeless, got given houses, picked up a whole load of other bits and pieces, caused a whole load of mess, or broken convictions, not turned up to the stuff, broken my... I'm not even going into all the issues. But as a business, I don't want to be doing this. I want to be promoting the fact of, look at how fast we're actually doing the redevelopment. Look at what's going on with the building. Look at how we're trying to promote other stuff. Look at the fact we're actually trying to run a festival this summer and bring locals together. Look at the fact of, if we get the pub rebuilt, locals around here, we're going to have another place to hang out, another place to get married, another place. It's going to be a social venue, we hope. And instead of actually getting cracking, this building behind me sits dead, still. Valuation Office, Gwynedd Council, National Park, the police. Who funds all these people? And who's holding up now a private person, private business, and those that actually... Does anyone else need a job? Does anybody want to work in a bar? Does anyone want to be a chef? Does anyone want to have a job, like get paid for anything? Now, we asked for a temporary pub, rejected. We asked for glamping huts, rejected. We asked for everything. We asked to put a barn up the top of the field. And they said, like, we're literally talking up the top of a field through a woodland, like 40, 50 metres of increase, not visible to anywhere. Can we have a barn for some pregnant cows? Under the 28-day rule. We got 20 odd acres, 30 acres of land or whatever it is. And the barn was literally going to be at the top of the hill. Over the hill. Pregnant cows. Can we have a barn for animals? No. And what is it these people want? Now, if they don't want to have the building rebuilt, it won't get rebuilt, because I'm trying to rebuild it. And what they don't understand is actually once it's built and you're paying proper money, then they get all their money. They get all their council tax. They get all their other bits and pieces. You're going to get the holiday tax. People are going to drive here. The government gets even more money for people driving. Then they stay here. Then they have to pay. Then I pay my council tax. I pay my VAT. Why is it the local council seems to be after every single penny, and they don't seem to see the bigger picture that without helping people in Wales do redevelopments, builders don't have jobs, they can't afford to do the different bits. The amount of people that have contacted me saying, Pete, like, why don't we get cracking, let's get building? And I'm having to say to them, no, and I'm putting jobs on hold, and I'm stopping doing the contracting work. We used to have 4 or 5 contractors working on site every day. It's £1,000 a day, if not more, that's going back into the public. That's going back into funds and buying food and buying other stuff in the local environment. Welcome to the world where we live, where public sector people have no idea about actual real world or business, because when they need money, they just call upon it. They slam people into court with zero regrets, and nobody's holding anyone responsible. Now, I don't want to be a full-on vigilante, but these people need to be held personally liable, and they need to have their houses up. They need to have debt collectors turning up on their doorstep. And they need to have every single thing that us normal people get. If I don't pay my council tax, people turn up and they start knocking. If I don't go to court on time, then they come knocking. If the police call me up, I turn up because I'm thinking, what have I done wrong this time? I'm just a guy walking around. In all honesty, I'm pottling around by myself, doing building work and sweeping my driveway. And then people that are maybe slightly jealous that seem to be causing more issues, thinking that they want to just take some cash because it's easy. No. It's not going to be happening. Please, you are on warning. I'm going to be sending out letters either to your employees directly or / to your work. There's 3, 4, 5 officers that are all up already. They've all been evidenced. All the email chains are there. All calls are recorded. We've just done the transcripting on all of it. I've been sat up all night, pulling off all the call recordings and whacking them through a caller transcript, and then listening back to them and making sure they're all good, ready for courts. Because this is ridiculous. And I hope that anyone watching it doesn't see this as a reflection on the business, but sees it on a reflection of, why is this guy just pottling around actually trying to do good? And just getting smashed for no reason, because I'm just frankly bored of it. So thanks very much anyway if you've made it this far. Welcome to the Rugok. I'm going to keep everyone up to date. Hopefully posts about corruption and local policing and stuff like that are going to cancel off. Not going to lie, I've got a few police thingies I need to answer to for other allegations, and just it seems to be you can't just move on in your life and move away from people. If they had a nice life prior to you, or / not a nice life, and then you give them everything you want, then that's when it all starts to seemingly go wrong. And allegations just come back for no reason. The police are just they're not fit for purpose. The council tax manager, he needs investigating, guys. And if anyone else has been through this, I've had 2 emails now from other people that have had court sent to them for taxation issues, and one of them I think wrote it on Facebook, but I've had 2 other people. This is not just me that's going through this. At any one stage, if you're living in a normal house, fair enough, that's all cool, but you go and build a house or do a development or add something else to your property and council tax figure it out, you're going to be in 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 months, a year of paying the wrong tax, getting chased, getting threatening letters, getting court orders, until the council's actually got some decent staff in it, where everyone's up for it. It's just a matter of when, not if. Peace. Thank you.